Hello, good evening, everyone. Alexander, Mariam, and Ayan.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, just a minute, give me a moment. Let me connect my earbuds. All right, everyone. So, Alexander, Mariam, and Ayan. In the last session, we talked about the pro rata issue of share on pro rata basis. And based on that, we did a question number 30. And we did in fact two questions in the previous session, question number 38 and 39. And I gave question number 40 as a homework, which I think you might not be able to solve this question. Kindly confirm if you're able to solve the question. Anybody is able to complete the question? Alexander?
No, sir.
No. And so okay, so let's start with question number 40. Let's continue. Okay. So it says Alpha Limited invited application for issuing 75,000 equity shares of an each. The amount was payable as follows: on application and allotment 4 per share, on first call 3, and then the balance is on the final call. Application 1 lakh shares were received. Shares were allotted to all the applicants on pro rata basis, and excess money received with application were transferred toward the sum due on first call. Vibha, who was allotted 750 shares, failed to pay the first call. Her shares were immediately forfeited. Afterwards, the second call was made. The amount due on second call was also received, except on 1,000 shares applied by Monica. Her shares were also forfeited. All the forfeited shares were reissued to Mohit for 9,000 as fully paid shares. Okay, so let's continue. Solution to question number 40. Okay, so the application received for how many shares? 1 lakh shares. But company have actually issued only 75,000 equity shares. So not more than 75,000 shares can be allotted. So allotted share can only be equal to the issued shares. So application is received for 1 lakh shares, but company must have allotted 75,000 shares only. Company is saying that whatever the access amount that we have received on application, that will be adjusted towards the first call. Okay. And question also tells us about the various installment on application and allotment. Company is willing to raise 4 per share on first call, 3 per share, and balance on the final call. On application and allotment, company is expected to raise 4 per share on first call, 3 rupees per share on first call, and balance on final call. So the total value of share is 10 rupees per share. What will be the final value for the final call? It will be 3 rupees per share. Right? And apart from this, question says that Vibha, one of the subscriber, failed to pay the first call. All right. And apart from Vibha, there is one more subscriber, Monica, who failed to pay the second call money in respect of 1,000 shares. So taking these things into consideration, we need to pass the journal entries in the book of Alpha Limited. Okay. Let's start with the journal entries. Journal entries in the books of Alpha Limited. All right.
So we are not able to see the board.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. So the journal entry, first entry that we'll do is for the application, right? So on application. So journal entry for the application will be done like this: bank account debit to share application account, right? And we will be receiving application for 1 lakh shares, right? We have received application for 1 lakh shares. Huh? So share application, just let me correct it. Share application and allotment. In fact, first installment is share application and allotment. Share application and allotment account. Can anyone of you please tell me the value by which it will be debited? Bank account will be debited by what amount?
4
We
lakh.
have received 1 lakh. Yes, 1 lakh. Application has been received, and the amount of application is 4 per share. So that means 4 lakh will be debited to bank account, and 4 lakh will be credited to share application and allotment account. Now we will pass the entry for the transfer of share application and allotment money to share capital account. So for that, the journal entry will be share application and allotment account debit by 4 lakh to share capital. Share capital can only be credited with the number of shares which is actually allotted, which is actually issued, in fact. Share capital account. So number of share actually issued was 75,000. No? So 75,000 into into 4. 3. And the excess amount that we have received along with share application allotment will be adjusted toward share first call, right? To share first call account. So it will be 75. So in respect of 2,500 shares, amount that we have received, 25,000 in fact into 4 will be 1 lakh. I'm sorry. I hope this is clear, everyone.
Yes.
Is this entry clear? This is for the receipt of application money and transfer of application money to the share capital account, and remaining the balance amount will be adjusted toward the first call. And then we'll pass the entry for the on allotment. no entry for the allotment will be done. Second entry will be for on post call. First of all, we'll pass the entry for making the post call due, which is share post call account debit to share capital account. Your share first call account will be debited by what amount? 75,000 shares into what was the amount of first call? Amount of first call was 3 rupees per share, right? Excuse me. This will be 2,25,000. I hope this is clear. 2,25,000. Is that clear, Alexander?
Yes, sir.
And share capital account will also be credited by 2,25,000. Okay. Now we'll pass the entry for the receipt of call money. So the journal entry for that is bank account debit. Right? Bank account will be debited to one of the shareholder did not pay in respect of the first call. Na? So calls in areas account will also be debited. Calls in areas account to share to to share first call. Alright, is this clear, everyone? Now to find out the amount by which bank account will be debited, what we'll do, we're supposed to receive 2,25,000. But out of 2,25,000, we have already received some amount along with the application, right? This is 1 lakh has already been received at the time of the application itself. We will have to first of all adjust this value, right? Is that clear? We will have to first of all adjust this value. We will subtract 1 lakh out of 2,25,000. Why? Because we have already received this amount. Tell me if it is clear or not. Tell me if it is clear, yes or no. Okay. And apart from the amount that we have already received, we will also subtract the amount that one of the shareholder did not pay in respect of 750 shares. Be able to see that Vibha is one of the shareholder who did not pay, failed to pay first call money in respect of 750 shares. So in order to find out what amount is outstanding on Vibha in respect of 750 shares, we will have to make a working note. And after making a working note, whatever the value that we will get, that will be subtracted from here. And the balancing value that we will get, we will write it here and debit the bank account by that amount. Okay. So let's make a working note to find out the amount due in respect of first call from Vibha. Alright, everyone, is this clear? Until this point, any doubt? So I'm making a working note here. Number of shares applied by Vibha right? And number of shares allotted to Vibha. We already know number of shares that has been allotted to Vibha is 750 shares, which is given in the question. But how many shares were actually applied by Vibha? For that, we will have to do the calculation. See, the total application that company have received is, company have received the application for 1 lakh shares, and in respect to 1 lakh applications, company have actually issued 75,000 shares only. So that means if Vibha have applied for, if Vibha have got 750 shares, that means then how much she would have actually applied for? How much she would have actually applied for? Okay, just a minute. I think I'm making some mistake. Just a minute. 750. We want to find out the applied share, na? So we'll have to, in the numerator, we'll have to put 1 lakh, the number of shares applied by public, and in the denominator part, we'll have to put the number of shares allotted, 75,000. And now multiply with the number of shares applied by Vibha, 750 shares. Allotted to Vibha. By calculating this, we will get 1,000 shares. So Vibha must have applied for 1,000 shares. Alright, is this clear? This is a formula that we use to find out, that we apply to find out the applied share by any investor. What is the formula? If you want to find out the applied, how many shares a particular shareholder have applied for that purpose, what we'll do, we will just divide the number of application received divided by allotted share by the company, and multiply this with the allotted share of investor, allotted share to investor. Like in this case, allotted share to Vibha. By solving this, we will get the number of shares applied by Vibha. So you need to remember this whenever you need to find out the applied share. Always put application received in the numerator. If you want to find out the allotted share, you will have to put the number of allotted shares in the numerator section. All right, I hope this is clear. So number of applied share is 1,000 and allotted share to Vibha is 750. Now think this way, that if Vibha have actually applied for 1,000 shares, then she must have paid amount paid by Vibha on application and allotment. She must have paid in respect of 1,000 shares at the rate of, what was the amount of application and allotment? It was 4 rupees per share. If I'm not right, and if I'm not wrong, 1,000 into 4 is, she have already paid 4,000 in respect of 1,000 shares. But what is the amount due in respect of allotment and application? Amount due on Vibha for application and allotment was only in respect of 750 shares, because 750 shares have been actually allotted. So she was required to pay 750 into 4. That means she was required to pay only 3,000, but she paid 1,000 extra. The extra amount that she have paid, 1,000 extra, shall be adjusted towards the first call. So excess money paid by Vibha on application and allotment. You need to remember this, that this amount will be adjusted later on with the first call. Now, moving on, let's write down amount due on Vibha for first call. In respect of first call, she was supposed to pay in respect to 750 shares into 3 per share. Right? She was supposed to pay in respect of 750 shares at the rate of 3 per share as the first call money. 750 into 3 will be 2250. Right? Is that clear? But out of this, she have already paid less amount already paid for first call and along with application and allotment. Vibha have already paid 1000 along with application and allotment, which has to be adjusted toward the first call. So the outstanding amount that she did not pay is only 1250 rupees. Right? This is the amount that she was supposed to pay that she did not pay in respect of first call. So amount not paid by Vibha for first call. Tell me if it is clear, yes or no? Alexander, is that clear? Mariam and Ayan. Is it clear,
Yes, sir.
everyone? Okay, Ayan, I think you were not there in the previous session, so you will be having some difficulty understanding this. As far as I'm able to understand, I think you won't be able to understand this since you have missed the previous session. But tell me if this is clear or not to you.
It's clear, sir.
Okay, if it is clear, then that means 1250 rupees will be subtracted out of the first call money. So 1250 will be subtracted from here and the balancing amount will be debited to bank account. Just a minute. This will be 2,25,000 minus 1 lakh minus 1250. So 1, 2, 3, 750 and cost in area account will be debited by 1,250, the amount that we did not pay in respect of first call, and remaining amount will be credited to chair post call account. 1,25,000. Done? Is it clear? This will be the entry for the receipt of first call. Tell me if it is clear or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So could you
Now
show
let's
the
move.
working note?
Yeah, this is the work. This is the half part of the working note. There's more. Shall I scroll down?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Done.
Done. Okay. Now, let's now move to the next installment on the second call. Entry for the second call. Second and final. On second. First of all, we'll have to pass an entry to make the final call, second and final call due. So the journal entry for that is share second and final call account debit. 75,000 into what was the amount of final call? It was 3 rupees per share. Right? So 3 rupees per share means 2 lakh. 2 lakh 75,000 into 2,25,000. Just a minute. $75,000 minus so second and final call will be received in respect of 75,000 share minus 750 share because Vibha shares will be forfeited na. Vibha shares will be forfeited and basically just let me show you in the question. I think we'll have to first of all pass the journal entry for the forfeiture of shares of Vibha. Forgot to do that. It says Vibha, who was allotted 750 shares, failed to pay first call, right? Her shares were immediately forfeited. So let's do one thing. Let's first of all pass the entry for the forfeiture of shares. And the shares that has been forfeited, in respect of those shares, we won't be asking for the final. We won't be asking for the second call. That means final call will be asked in respect of 75,000 shares minus 750 shares. Anyways, so let's pass the journal entry for the forfeiture of shares. On forfeiture of shares. You able to recall the journal entry for the forfeiture of share? Anyone? What is the journal entry for the forfeiture of share? Tell me, anyone.
So share capital account debit to share forfeited account.
Yes. Share forfeited account.
To calls in arrears.
Calls in areas. Yes, that is right. See. So how many shares are being forfeited? 750 shares are being forfeited. That belongs to Vibha, right? And what is the, we need to multiply this with the called up value, right? What is the called up value in respect to 750 shares? Vibha have paid, allotment money was due, he paid for the allotment money. She paid for the allotment money. When first call was due, she did not pay the first call. That means total call on, and after it is clear that she is not going to pay the first call, immediately her shares are being forfeited. That means total called up value in this case in respect of Vibha will only be 4 into 3. That means 7. Sorry, 4 plus 3, that is 7 rupees. Called up value is 7. 750 into 7. 750 into 7. So that will be 5250. And what amount can be forfeited? Amount that she have already paid. So she have already paid in respect of application and allotment. So 750 into 4, that will be 750 into 4 will be 3000, right? And what amount will be in arrears? 750 into 3 is in arrears. So that means it will be 1250. This is in arrears. This is the entry for the forfeiture of shares. Tell me if this is clear or not. Tell me if it is clear, yes or no.
Yes, sir.
It's clear. Okay, just a minute. I think 715 to 4. What was the amount of 7? Both the aspects are not equal. Na? The debit part of the entry is 550, and in the credit part it is 3000 and 1250. So sum total of it is only 4250. Am I making some mistake somewhere? Anyone able to locate the mistake here? Share capital account debit to share forfeited account. To call in areas. What amount will be in areas? 715 to 3. So 15 to 7 is 5250. Plus 3000 plus 1250. 750 into okay. Yeah. But there's one important point here. See, what amount he have actually paid. Whatever the amount that he have actually paid will be forfeited. Na? So he have paid at the time of application, he have paid for in respect of 1000 shares. He paid at the rate of 4 per share. So he have actually paid 4000. Correct? That amount will be forfeited and remaining amount will be transferred to call the areas account 1250. Is it clear? Alexander and Mariam, Ayan. Alexander, is that clear to you? Do you want me to explain it again? Are you saying yes?
Sir, how the number of shares forfeited will be different?
How the number of shares will be different. Basically, in fact, I think we shouldn't multiply this. We should not show the calculation here. See, in fact, 75,000 shares are being forfeited. That is right. 750 shares are being forfeited. But in respect of 750 share, what amount Vibha have already paid? Vibha have already paid in respect of 750 shares. 4,000 she have already paid at the time of application, and the amount that she have already paid will be forfeited. Got it? So I think we shouldn't show the calculation here. Like I should not show this calculation 1,000 into 4. Otherwise, that will be basically this is a kind of misrepresentation. Just write down the amount that will be forfeited. 4,000 will be credited to share forfeited account. Why? Because she must have paid 4,000 at the time of application. That will be entirely adjusted toward the share forfeited account. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir, it's clear now.
So this is done for the Vibha. Now let's move to the fourth entry on second and final call. So for second and final call, we'll first of all make the entry to make the second and final call due, which is share second and final call account. Debit to share capital. So we will be, the total amount due in respect to final call will be 750 shares minus 75,000 shares minus the number of shares in respect of which Vibha have defaulted. We need to subtract that, and the remaining amount will be multiplied with the final call value, which is 3 per share. So when we'll do the calculation, the amount that we will get is 2,22,750. Right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And after that, we'll pass one more entry for the receipt of application money, sorry, or receipt of the final call money. That will be bank account debit. Bank account debit to bank account debit, cost in areas account debit. Share second and final call. Bank account will be debited by what amount? So in respect of some share, one of the shareholder have defaulted in the payment of the final call money. It says in respect of 1,000 share, Monica have defaulted in the payment of second call. So 1,000 into 3. Cost in area will be 3,000. And the remaining amount will be received. That is, just a minute, 2,22,750 minus 2,19,750. Finally, call this 4 plus 3 plus 3. It should be okay. So it is given in the question that Monica have actually applied for 1,000 shares. We will have to first of all find out the allotted shares to Monica. If she have applied for 1,000 shares, then she must have got only 750 shares, huh? As in respect of 1 lakh shares, company have allotted 75,000 of shares. That means if Monica have applied for 1,000 shares, she must have got 750 shares only. So instead of multiplying this with 1,000 into 3, we should multiply this with 75. Into 3, and this will be 750 into 3 is 2250, and we will subtract 2250 out of 2,22,750, and the amount that we will receive is 2,20,500. This is the entry for the receipt of second and final call. Bank account debit 2,20,500. Calls in area account debit 2,250 to share second and final call. Got it? Is this clear? Is it clear, Alexander, Ayan, Mariam?
Yes, sir.
Now on forfeiture of shares, Monica's share will also be forfeited just after the failure to pay the second and final call. So the general entry for the forfeiture of shares will be share capital account debit to share forfeited account to calls in areas account. So 750 shares will be forfeited. We need to multiply this with the called up value. Called up value in this case will be 10 rupees. Since he failed to pay the second and final call, 750 into 10 is 7,500, right? And calls in area will be in respect of 750 share, he did not pay 3 rupees per share on final call. So 2250 is still in area, and remaining amount balancing value will be credited to share forfeited account, which will be 5250. This is the entry for the forfeiture of shares. Got it? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And one more thing is required in the question. It says her share were also forfeited, and in the next line it says all the forfeited shares were reissued to Mohit for 9,000 as fully paid up. All the shares means 750 shares which were allotted to Vibha and 750 shares which were allotted to Monica. That means total of 1,500 shares will be reissued to Mohit at 9,000. Again, the paid value is not given in the question. So whenever the paid value is not there in the question, we'll presume that the paid value is equal to the face value of the share, which is 10 rupees. So let's pass the journal entry for the reissue of shares. Do able to recall the journal entry for the ratio of shares? Anybody is able to recall the journal entry for the ratio of shares? The issue. Alexander, don't you remember the journal entry for the ratio of shares?
So
It will be,
bank account debit
yes, bank account debit
to share capital
to share capital. To share capital account. So bank account will be debited. 1,500 shares are being reissued now, and total amount that we have collected is 9,000. So that means all the share must have been issued at 60 per share. Sorry, not 66, 6 per share. 1,500 into 6. Yeah, 6 per share. And share capital account need to be credited by 1,500 into what was the paid value of the share? Since it is not given in the question, so we'll presume that it is 10 rupees per share. So that means we had a loss on reissue of share. Loss of what amount? Loss of 6,000. That will be debited to which account? Share forfeited account. Is that right? Share forfeited account, which is 6,000. Got it? Is this clear, everybody? Is it clear, yes or
sir.
no? Yes. Now one last entry is required, that is for the transfer of share forfeited account to capital reserve account. Entry for transferring share forfeited account balance to capital reserve account. Journal entry for that is share forfeited account debit, share forfeited account debit to capital reserve account, right? This is the entry, na? Share forfeited account debit to share capital reserve account. And to find out what amount will be transferred to capital reserve, we will have to look at the forfeiture entry. And while looking at the forfeiture entry, you can see we had a profit on the forfeiture of share of Monica. We had a profit of 5,250, and while forfeiting the shares of Vibha, we had a profit of 4,000. The total profit of 4,000 plus 5,250. That means 9,250. We had a credit balance of 9,250. We will subtract out of it debit balance of the forfeited account, which is 6,000. And the balancing value that we'll get will be debited to share forfeited account 3,250. Is it clear, everybody? Is it clear, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Anyone having any doubt? All of you are done writing this?
No, sir.
Still writing this.
So could I see the second and final call entry?
Second and final call. Entry for second and final.
So then the next one on forfeiture of shares.
Try solving these questions one more time on your own. Only then you will get you will be comfortable solving these kind of questions, because the pro rata question is comparatively difficult than other questions, since pro rata actually contains all the previous concept. Unless and until the previous concept of the chapter is not clear to you, you won't be able to solve the question based on pro rata. Make sure you try solving the question that that we did in this topic one more time on your own.
Okay, sir, done.
Done. Okay. So you want to do one more question in the today's session itself, or shall we end our session at this point only? Tell me if you want to do more question in today's session or not. Because it was a lengthy question, so it took a complete one hour. So if you want to do one more question, we can do that. Otherwise, we'll end our session to this point and we'll continue with a new question in the next session. Tell me, Alexander, what do you want? You want me to do one more question? What are you saying? We have to do somewhere, okay? Alright, so let's do one thing. I'm giving you one question, which is pretty much similar to the question that we just did. And I'm kind of sure that once you try, you will have some difficulty solving that question, but I'm sure that you will be able to do that if you practice enough. If you the question that we already did in the chapter, if you try solving these questions one more time on your own and then attempt question number 41, then I think you will be able to do that. Alright, so I'm giving you question number 41 as a homework. We are not going to solve it right now because it is going to take around 30-45 minutes to solve the entire question. So I'm just skipping question for now. We'll discuss that question in the next session. You're not able to solve that. Okay, so this is question number 41. One change in question that I want all of you to make. This question is requiring us to pass the journal entry and prepare the cash book. And if you are able to recall, I've told you that whenever question requires you to prepare the cash book, in such a situation you don't have to pass the journal entry for the receipt of any installment money. You don't have to pass the entry for the receipt of application money, allotment money, first call and final call. Since you were if you are supposed to prepare the cash book, then all the cash related transaction will be recorded there only in the cash book only. Already you remember that? Alexander, Ayan and Mariam, you remember that? Whenever cash book is required in the question, you don't have to pass any entry relating to cash or the receipt of application, allotment and post. Okay. But what I want you to do, I don't want you to prepare the cash book in this question. Just ignore that part. Just pass the journal entry without considering that you need to prepare cash book in this question. Just skip this. In fact, just erase this part. Let's cancel this out. Just a moment. Consider that in this question you don't have to prepare. You don't have to prepare cash book. You just need to pass the journal entry for everything, for the receipt of application, allotment, and personal final call. Everything. Don't make cash book in this question. We'll talk about that later. Okay. Now take the screenshot of this question. This one is similar to the previous question. In fact, it is an easy question. I'm sure that this time you will be able to solve this. Done, everybody? Done, all of you? So this
Yes,
is it
sir.
for today.